You're listening to Dubai Eye 103.8. Seela Green there, and it's your last chance to have a listen to this and join our competition. I have got 4 tickets for an exclusive family screening of How to Train Your Dragon up for grabs.
Maybe they're not as bad as we think they are.
In case you forgot, our parents' war is about to become ours. Figure out which side you're on.
That's the trailer. Young Hiccup defying tradition by befriending a feared dragon, Toothless. We are teaming up with House & House once again for our Dubai Eye 103.8 movie night, and it's going to be at Roxy Cinemas City Walk on June 23rd, 7 o'clock. So hopefully you can make it. You've got an extra chance to win by heading to the Dubai Eye website, or you can, as I said, win 4 tickets with me now, including free popcorn and soft drinks by telling me this. Which Scottish actor voices Stoic the Vast, Hiccup's father? Is it Gerard Butler or is it Ewan McGregor? You might know this. You might need to Google it. I don't mind. Doesn't matter. But let me know his name and your name, Gerard or Ewan, on 4001. You could use the ARN Play app or the WhatsApp. Always there for you, whether you want to get in touch with the show or indeed with me today on 04871 5500.
This is Eye on Education on Afternoons with Helen Farmer.
With Repton School Dubai, outstanding British education for ages 3 to 18, where students go into the world not just ready, but Repton ready.
We've been talking about the littlies going up into year 1, but what about the older children? Moving from junior to senior school marks a really significant new chapter, full of bigger challenges, greater independence, and often a few nerves along the way too. You know, academic demands increase, friendships shift as well. So how can schools and parents help students thrive through this change? We're exploring how to support young people emotionally and socially and academically as they step into senior school life with Jacqueline Lee, assistant head teacher at Repton Dubai, and a mum, crucially, we should say, Jacqueline, who has been there, seen it, done it, ironed the school shirt, and then now helping other children along the way as well. I'm about to navigate this in about a year's time, so I'm grateful for this on a personal basis as well. That move, from prep to senior, it feels like a massive leap. Whether you're going to a new school or even staying in the same school, what are some of the key developmental changes that you see during this transition?
I would say that you've sort of mentioned a few there. To start with, there is definite changes in social emotional development, physical changes.
Definitely.
Absolutely, yeah. And different children are at different points, both in terms of their excitedness, whether they feel a bit nervous. There's the cognitive and the academic changes. The structure of the day changes. They are then taught by more teachers than they are introduced to at year 6 because they have specialist teachers.
So rather than being kind of classroom-based, they'll be travelling around the school for specific lessons.
Yeah. So there's that measure of independence. They need to learn time management skills and organisational skills.
More homework?
Probably a bit more homework and home learning, of which we sort of really encourage a lot of reading. I know that reading was talked about earlier as well. So there are quite a lot of changes for them. But I know schools work really hard to work with parents and work with the children. So to reassure you, schools and they are working really hard to make sure that transition is as smooth as possible.
And it can be a transition, as I said, if you're going from junior to senior. And as we alluded to earlier with Charlotte Greaves, there were a lot of new starters in Dubai who might be coming into school for completely the first time. That must be even more intimidating because there'll often be a cohort of classmates that are moving through the school together, and then you're going, hi, rather than necessarily it being a brand new senior school and everyone's maybe coming in from different schools in different areas and even different countries. How do you help the students on that social side, Jacqueline, whether it's helping them find their tribe or, thinking about pastoral care as well?
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of different ways that you can do this. I'm a big believer in extracurricular activities and getting yourself involved in hobbies and interests that the school put into place as well. And it's about, we also have a buddy system, so anybody new who starts, we buddied them up. But classes are usually mixed and things anyway as they start into year 7. So children will be given opportunity to make friends with other children that they might not have come across in year 6 anyway. So the children are making new friends, but definitely I think ECAs or after school activities are a really good place to start and make new friends. Our ECAs also go across year groups, so sometimes we have year 7s and 8s in particular ECAs, and so finding that hobby, finding that interest, but we do buddy them up, so they are put with a buddy. We obviously meet them and introduce them, tour them around the school, so that they feel comfortable as possible.
It's not your first time. Far from it. What about the parents? Because this is an interesting stage for us as well. We're used to, I am still, taking my kids to their classroom and saying good morning to the teacher and, being in quite close contact with them. I've got friends whose children have gone to secondary, and the year just gone, they go, never met the teacher, not allowed on the campus. It's a completely different parent experience as well.
It can feel like that for certain, as we said, that, there's a lot more teachers that are involved in the sort of teaching of your children. So that can feel like there's a lot more people who are in contact. But they also have a form tutor who is their regular person and their head of year. And so these people are in place that are consistent in their day-to-day lives. So they would definitely be your first point of contact that you would reach out to if you had any concerns or any issues. But we also meet parents regularly. So in the first few weeks we meet with parents. In fact, we have an induction day for all year sixes that will start into year 7, and they come in before the other children in the school start. So they have a whole day of navigating around the school, meeting key staff, and we also meet with parents at that point, and we show them round too, because I think that's really important that they know where their children are going for science and where they're going for design and technology.
It demystifies things. That's been the big worry I've heard from my daughter. She's like, what if I get lost? I'm like, no, listen, everyone's going to get lost.
Yes.
You're building in time into the timetable to allow you to find yourself in a completely wrong corridor, and that's to be expected. I think I think a lot of kids worry that they're going to be the only one that hasn't got any friends or the only one that doesn't know where they're going, and by kind of normalising that, as you're saying, with a day early and familiarisation for everybody, that must be a big peace of mind.
I do think that does reassure a lot of students, because it is different from year 6 in travelling around the school to go to those specialised lessons. But we also have a lot of older students who are on hand all the time. And so when they see year 7s looking maybe a bit lost with the timetable in their hand, they're really keen to help out and point them in the right direction too.
That's nice to hear. What about time management? More independence, as you're saying, whether it's travelling around the school, but also managing their workload outside of school. I've got to be honest, we chose our school because it doesn't do homework, and it's been a big tick for many reasons, but I'm fully expecting come secondary that's going to change. But, they often get worksheets and we'll check the bag and da-da-da-da. I would imagine parents won't be informed if there's homework to do once you get to year 7.
There's lots of systems now where parents are kept updated still with what homework children are receiving, and there's lots of different platforms. Schools have different ways to communicate to parents what that home learning or homework looks like. So there is still methods there. It's not a complete...
I don't know if that's good or bad news. I'm like, another way of reaching me.
But it does just keep people informed about what is happening in that way with regards to home learning.
And then about, building that resilience, building those time management skills. It's a big adjustment to not have someone, really monitoring everything. Is there a bit of a build up to that? How do you talk to children in the classroom about what happens outside of the classroom?
Absolutely. And I don't want people to think it is one giant step to another. There is definitely a phased approach in that. And schools will start off with a phased way that they develop home learning, the way that they develop the measure of independence. So to start off with, in the first few weeks, we have year 7s in certain areas and zones of the school at break and lunch, and specific year 7 bathrooms, so that it doesn't feel like it's one big go at one time. And then as the year progresses, we sort of change that to allow them out into certain other areas of the school. So it is definitely a phased approach. We also try and teach them those independent skills through our PSHE curriculum, through our pastoral time, and they have their tutor. We have one-to-one sessions. So there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes in supporting that independence.
How long has Repton Dubai been open now for, Jacqueline? Enough years to understand what it takes.
Yes. It's been open for a long time, like over the 10 years now, and it's amazing.
Okay, thank you. I feel like that was a personal coaching session. But, for any other families who are listening today, what do you find the most rewarding aspect of guiding these children from that junior to senior? And what do you hope they'll, I guess, take with them as they go?
I think one of the most rewarding things, having been at the school for a long time, I see children really flourish and they grow in confidence. That you see them joining new activities or on the stage being part of the show or it being on sports teams and those sort of things, when you've seen somebody really sort of maybe a bit nervous at year 7 and then you see them in the show, it is really amazing.
Jacqueline, thank you so much for being with us today. I hope you've got a lovely summer planned and you're getting your energy levels ready for the end of... When's term starting? End of August?
End of August, yes.
But a day early for those
day
year
early
sons.
for the year 6s, coming into year 7, yes.
Jacqueline Lee with us today, assistant head teacher at Repton Dubai. We are going to be picking a winner in just a minute. If you've been getting in touch to hopefully score those 4 tickets to join us on the 23rd with House and House to see how to train your dragon, hopefully saying your name next.
Weather check.
With Air Arabia, explore Yerevan, Almaty, Nairobi,